two, one. Hey guys, we are so excited. We have Drake Bell, originally from Drake and Josh, as we all know. Thank you so much, man, for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's really cool.
So this is Kyle. Kyle is the owner of Ramson Productions. I'm the owner of Magic Factory LLC, and we are so excited to bring something to Tucson that is COVID safe, that people can just go out and enjoy and just have a good old time. And we're lucky enough to have you as our guest. What got you into performing? How did you get your big break?
I started performing at a really young age. I started acting at a really young age, started playing music around, my early tweens, and started writing songs and like putting bands together and stuff like that. And then started working on Drake and Josh and got to write a lot of the music for the show, and wrote the theme song, incorporated a lot of my music, and that kind of helped boost that. And then just been continuing to make records and stuff like that.
Really cool. I know that it's just that step just to make it in, but once you get that foot in the door, you get to roll with it and have a good time.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got to keep, but it's peaks and valleys. It's like, so you just got to keep the ball rolling. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes it's the people who can who just stay, who stick with it and don't give up.
Exactly. And that's the thing about
persevere.
Having it as a career. There's always ups and downs. No matter how famous you are or what you've done, you're still going to be trying to stay out there and stay known and put,
stay relevant and stay up to, keep yourself excited artistically and all of that. So
yeah, especially through these COVID times. I know that we've struggled bringing other events into Tucson. When was your last performance, like in front of a live audience?
I actually got to do a performance back in October.
Oh wow!
In Orlando.
Okay.
And it was at a university, so it was like super COVID, socially distanced.
Oh wow!
It was crazy. It was really interesting. There was like everybody was sitting in chairs, and they were all like spaced apart, and they had to enter first row, sit down, and the next row, sit down. So it was all like that, and everybody was masked up, and it was, it was different. It was strange, but it was cool to actually like be in front of people, kind of. They weren't like up on this. It was not like it normally is. It was different, but cool. But it was cool to be able to be on stage, just playing live. Because before that, my last show was in I think February.
Wow.
And I that went from playing, I don't know how many shows a week, 4 or 5 shows a week, to playing like nothing for a year.
Yeah,
it was pretty crazy.
Performing is your life, and if you're not doing it, then
it's really weird.
Yeah. So that concert, that was obviously, the people went like they were not in cars. So is this your first drive-in?
Yeah, this is my first drive-in. Yeah. Not my first drive-in experience, because I have gone to like drive-in comedy shows since they've been doing that out here for like quarantine, and it's really cool actually. Yeah. We like we went and got like a bunch of food and snacks, and like they pipe it into your car through the radio.
Yeah.
And it was dope. We like had our like pajamas on, and like we were. Awesome. It was really cool. It was like back when you'd like go watch a drive-in movie,
Well, that's what we're kind of going with here is we're making it the drive-in movie experience with a live concert, and you have the food trucks and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's going to be a good old
They did something like that for Halloween here that we went to. It was a lot of fun. They had like the food trucks and the drive-in movie and everything. It was really cool. Going up to the comedy show, we were thinking like, how are we going to laugh? Like, so everyone's honking their horns when they're laughing and stuff. Everybody's getting into it. It was pretty funny. But yeah, we weren't sure like what the experience was going to be like. And then, once the show started, we were like, oh, this is awesome. This is so cool.
I know in October, I did one of my last events, my last show, and we had a comedian open up, and I was like, wait a minute, how is he going to get reactions? And it was a weird experience to hear the honking horns, and it's just such a unique, and then people scream like crazy, and they make as much noise as they possibly can from being in a car. So We lost you there. Oh, there you go.
Yep, there we go. There we go.
Okay. So what songs? You have quite a few albums. What music should we expect to hear on Saturday?
I mean, just stuff from all my records. You know, I'll be doing stuff from It's Only Time, Telegraph, some of the new stuff, like the stuff I've been doing in Spanish, and the new singles I released last year. Some of the new stuff off of the album I released last year called the Lost album. So yeah, just I mean, all the stuff from the show. Of course. So like
everyone's asking
everything. Yeah. Everything. Yeah.
Everyone's like, the two questions: is he gonna sing the song from Drake and Josh, and is he gonna sing in Spanish?
Yes to both.
Yes, that's what the fans are coming to see. All of that. That's
sí, los dos.
There you go. So, what inspires you to write a song? I know you wrote the song for Drake and Josh. Like, what?
What inspires? I just like, I don't know, life. I don't know. I just write I don't know. I just sit down and kind of come up with melodies and chord progressions, and then like, I don't know. Different things, all different things. Depends on what inspires me at that moment. It could be.
You ever just like hang out with friends, and then all of a sudden you're like, I just got the perfect idea for a song?
No, that never really happens. No.
All right. No. That's just
no. It's never really like it's not like in the movies, man. It's not like you're walking down the street and like someone's like, man, Daddy better take your T-bird away, and then you're like, oh my God, I have to get home, and then they like write, the Beach Boys like write their hit song. It's not really like that.
Right.
But no, it's like you mess around, you like kind of just like come up with some melodies and chord progressions first, and then you kind of like scat and stuff, and you're like, I was just a little one, dude. And then you like start doing melodies and stuff and making up, and then you're like, oh, that kind of sounded like that. That's a cool line. And then you're like, okay, what am I saying here? And then it kind of develops into like a story.
Oh, so cool.
I don't really like come into songs going, I'm gonna write about this today. I usually have to get at least like the bones of it first, and then I could be like, all right, what's this song? What would this song be about?
Cool. I like it. Start with the structure and then put the words to it.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Is this your first time in Tucson?
No, I love Tucson. Tucson's rad.
We were both born and raised in Tucson, so we're obsessed.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I played there a lot.
So because you got your start at such a young age, and a lot of the people that come to our shows are younger, and we're wondering what would be your advice to an upstart performer just wanting to break into the business?
Well, actually, the past 2 weeks, the industry has completely changed, and it's really interesting. But independent artists have a completely new opportunity to release their music and retain the rights to their music and have a one-on-one connection with their fan base. So their fans are investing back into the art. Basically, they're with this new technology that's come out. You basically don't need a record label. So if you can garner if you can have access to, if you can build your fan base, 1,000 fans paying you directly, investing directly into the band instead of buying all the iTunes, all this stuff, and the band gets 0.0008 cents of a stream from Spotify, you know what I mean? And only like 1% of the top 5% make all the money. And
right.
So for independent artists, it's just like impossible,
Right.
But this new thing, it's like, if you have 1,000 diehard fans, that's better than 1 million followers that scroll through and sometimes like your picture. You know what I mean? It's like those 1,000 fans are going to buy everything.
Right.
So it's this new like NFT technology called non-fungible tokens. And you can, you can actually like do incentives with fans and like, give away like Willy Wonka golden tickets that actually live in this is really technical stuff, and I'm going to end it right here because
okay.
it's like too much stuff. but it like lives on the blockchain. So you're giving something out to your fans that eventually could be worth money one day, you know?
Right.
So it's like almost like a collectible.
Yeah.
Cool. And so you can give that to your fans, and your fans can, it's like, it just opens up a whole new world for independent artists. So what I would say in the past 2 weeks, like my whole, what would you say to an up and coming artist? Answer has totally changed. So now my answer would be look up NFTs, find out what they are, do your research, look up Audius. It's sort of like a SoundCloud, but more open, it's more open source blockchain technology. Gotcha. And you can literally, like, record labels, all they're going to do right now is spend a lot of money on you, so you owe them a money back, and then they're going to get you like Spotify playlists. And if the fans aren't there, okay, you can get all the playlists you want, but nobody's going to listen to it. It's not going to, it's going to die after the summer, you know?
Right.
But if you, and then we can, you know, label can get you on the radio, but if the radio, you know, if the song does well, but the fans aren't there, it's like, oh, you remember that song? Yeah, I know that song, but there's no fans locked onto it, you know? Gotcha. So so now, like, you know, a record label is kind of useless if you have the ability right here with technology to reach out to your fans, just like the YouTube kids did, you know? Yeah. It's like they build these huge followings just with this little platform. Right. So that's what I would say to independent artists, is to like figure out all of this new technology, dive into it, you know, and research it, because it's like unchaining the independent artist. So everybody has the ability to do what they want to do now, and not have to be like, oh, I hope I get signed one day.
Well, that's the thing with the new world we're living in, with TikTok and social media and YouTube. You know, anybody could get out there and become like known and famous.
Exactly.
And that's kind of cool. It makes it a lot easier. I remember the days you go to auditions and you have to have a record label.
Yep.
Those still exist, but this is just a faster, easier stepping stone.
Yeah, I mean, you can connect directly with your fans, start building your fan base, and whether that's 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, it's like now cultivating these fans means so much more, because they have the ability to directly invest in you through this technology. Right. And they don't have, like, for example, if, you know, people who love Justin Bieber, they always say, oh, I was with him from the beginning. You know, I watched him when he was just on YouTube. Well, what if you could prove that? And be like, well, go look at the blockchain. Like, I actually bought one of his things back in 2010 or whatever year it was. And I'm one of the first fans that bought it, and I can prove it because there's a certificate of authenticity that lives forever on the blockchain. Right. So like, instead of just telling you that I was there at the beginning, you can actually go and see that I was at that concert when there was only 12 people, and now they're the Beatles.
Wow.
You know, so it's like, for a super fan, for a super fan, that's like, it's like showing your proof of attendance, like your ticket stub or your backstage pass or something, and like proving you were there at the beginning. And then maybe one day you could be like, oh, any of my fans who bought the first 50 tokens when I was like nobody, and now that I'm doing stuff, you guys get free, you know, access to any concerts you guys come to. You get 4 front row VIP tickets, blah, 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 blah. Like, and so like the fans could be like, no way, like I bought those back in, you know, 2021, and now it's 2024, and I got freaking VIP front row passes because I held on to this thing. And so it's like this whole new experience that's going to be, it's really revolutionizing the ability for fans to connect with artists and vice versa.
So where did this whole Mexico Drake Campana thing come from? Everybody is crazed about.
We hear about it all the time.
Well, I've just spent a lot of time in Mexico, and I you know, grew up here in Southern California, and like you guys know, in Arizona, you know, we're very close to the border, and been traveling there my whole life. And then I started touring and playing a lot of shows down there, and it just became like a second home. You know, they were just really, the audiences were amazing. I was playing really big shows out there, and playing a lot of festivals with all these different Latin artists, and you know, I'd get home and I'd want to make that music. So I got home and I was making some records, and I was like, you know what? Because I would do like cover songs in Spanish and stuff at my concerts, and you know, but I'd never put anything out in Spanish. So I wrote a song, Fuego Lento, and I put that out. and it was the first time my fans had heard me like on record singing in Spanish. So they loved it. They were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. You know, he did this for us. And then I put out another one and another one. So I have like, I think 3 or 4, you know, like a cover of another Juanes song and everything. But yeah, it's just, it's like my second home. And it's kind of just like a natural progression of my, you know, traveling the world and then coming back and it making its way into my music, I guess.
That's really cool. Yeah, and the whole, you know how all that stuff blows up too, changing your name and all that.
Yeah.
Every time we hear that, we just start laughing.
I know, it's so funny. It was like a joke I put on my Instagram, and then everybody like just ran with it. It was so funny. All the fans in Mexico are like, "You guys are so late to the game. He did this like 2 years ago."
Yeah, we are. That's okay though.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. You seem like an awesome person. We're so excited to have you here in Tucson, Arizona. And we'll post, you know, where you can buy tickets and all that stuff. So
Sweet.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to finally play a show.
Listen to you live. Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Yep. See you later.